You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get a rant by becoming one of those people. This one is longer, and I don't have a working laptop at the moment. So Sumo Agogo says, "Hi Digibro, my rant hole discussion for you is about the excessive amount of ultra-violence in anime, mainly to male characters for comedic purposes. Do you think this paints women in anime as unnecessarily violent? And if there was a change in male protagonists, should they A, become dodge masters to where a car could be thrown at them and miss? B, tank everything to do a light push or shove? C, actually fight back in the same serious or comedic fashion depending on the situation? Or D, your ideas that were not mentioned before? Sorry for the long rant, but thank you for hearing me out, and I'd like to hear a reply from you." So I've noticed that there are a few people who have seen take umbrage with the way that anime characters can be violent with each other for comedy. For instance, there was somebody who was really like upset with High Score Girl because of the fact that the girl beats the shit out of the main guy all the time. Maybe this is just because in my life I have never had to deal with violence in any way, but I have never taken it seriously or really even registered it. Like, it just seems to me like slapstick comedy. I don't like register that something violent is happening to somebody. It's just another joke going on. It's never made me think of the character perpetuating the violence as violent because it's a cartoon. So I don't feel anything, when a character gets hit in a comedy scene. Like, to me, it's just a wacky, funny joke. I've seen shows where the main character does like subvert the expectation in many ways. There's a lot of like gags about, oh, I'll hit a woman back, and I've seen male characters beat the shit out of women and in retaliation. I think of a show like Gintama, where the main character's special attack is domestic violence, where he beats people with a wooden sword and screams domestic violence at them, which is fucking hilarious. But I don't know. Like, I guess it's just not something that I don't know if most people do register this at all. Like, I don't know how it comes through. I mean, like, I understand why there's not more men hitting women comedically in anime, because a lot of people don't want to see women getting hit in any context. Like, I know there's a lot of women who would complain about it, a lot of men who would complain about it, a lot of people who won't respect a male character if he were to lay a hand on a woman. And when women hit men, I think that a lot of people just won't even think about it, because I don't know if it's just from the perception that women are weaker and men should be able to take a hit or what. Like, I don't know why. I don't know how this dynamic really plays out, or if there is any explanation for it on like a deeper psychological level. I don't know what's going through the creators' heads when they write scenes like that into shows. But again, for me, like, I'm watching a cartoon. I expect people to get hit hilariously. Like, that is kind of par for the course on what cartoons have historically been, is that, like, comedic violence is a part of them, because it's something absurd that, in my world at least, is not something that really happens in reality. I've never been hit. I've never been around violent people. So, like, from my perspective, it's just goofy jokes and wacky fun times. I can understand why it might register with other people or give them some cause for concern, especially when they see it happening all the time, and that it does seem kind of one-sided. But, like, I just think it's a lot of people cracking the same joke, basically. But, like, in the case of High Score Girl, like, I never even thought of the girl as violent. Even though, yes, she does beat his ass all the time. But, I mean, he also gets hit by a car in, like, episode 1. So, it had already reached such a level of absurdity that I just kind of think of it as a metaphor for her being, standoffish, and, like, for her being a tsundere, basically. Like, the girl doesn't speak, so there has to be some kind of physical communication in order for her, thoughts to get across to the audience, and just beating up the main guy seems to be the metaphor for that, because it doesn't affect him. Like, he doesn't care. It might be different, I guess, if if the male character was like upset by the violence, if the male character was like sincerely getting hurt, or if it had some kind of narrative weight to it, I would probably feel something. But like, it's a, I'm watching a cartoon get hit by a car and then just get up and be like, oh, you hit me with a car, you bitch, how dare you, like, not, there's no repercussions for it, so it doesn't feel real. But I'm sure that reads differently for everybody, so it's interesting to me that there are people who get upset by things like that.